Hello, this is the Blimey Cow YouTuber, and welcome back to another video. Today, I'll be watching Messy Monday's 15 Ways Movies Think You Are Stupid. So without any further ado, let's just get right into it.
Guys, I have realized in my life that movies think we are completely stupid, so I have spent the entire week coming up with 15 ways that you can tell. This obviously won't be an exhaustive list, but it's just 15 examples of how movies assume that, well, you're an idiot, and they can throw anything at you, and you'll go see it no matter how insulting it is to your intelligence. Of course, they're completely wrong about us. Oh, I forgot. You're gonna need your 3D glasses for this episode. Put them on now.
Alternative title would be You Are Stupid, and movies cater toward that. But that probably wouldn't go over quite as well.
Obligatory 30-minute final battle scene that inevitably ends.
I mean, it kind of makes sense though. Like, I mean, I don't, like, is it cliche? Perhaps, but to be honest, a lot of times life is cliche.
With the hero beaten down and the villain standing over him and talking about all of his terrible plans that he had, and he goes on for way too long, and then, oh shocker, right on cue, somebody comes up from behind and kills the villain. And it's usually
Okay, that part's the unrealistic cliche part of this.
some character the movie hopes I've forgotten about because the final battle scene is like, what, 10 hours long. Girl takes off glasses and is suddenly gorgeous.
I'm an outcast.
I mean, does this ever actually happen? I've heard about this in movies a lot, but I don't actually think I've literally ever seen it in a movie. There's a good chance I don't watch the type of movies where this sort of thing is a thing. But seriously, I feel like this is something you only ever hear about.
Outcast and a nerd. I wonder what would happen if I took these glasses off and I conformed to a few societal norms about how women should look. That's better.
Everyone has sex all the time. We've all seen this scene in a movie before.
Come on, how many times?
I don't want to talk about
Less
it.
than 10?
Please stop. I don't want to.
You're practically a virgin. The implicit argument being that you're weird and you need to change because you haven't had a lot of sex. Also, bullying is bad.
Getting
That one's pretty based.
kicked in the groin is funny if you're stupid. If you're the kind of person
Yeah, no, I hate like 90% of the humor in so-called comedy movies. Especially, like, one that always gets me is the obligatory someone gets pushed over a table and all the food and drinks and everything goes everywhere. And all I can do whenever that happens is think, gosh, somebody's gonna have to clean that up.
that laughs at groin injuries in movies, God help you. I think that all those people should wear t-shirts that say lowest common denominator. Oh, and in the S and lowest, it should be a $. Someone get on that. Guy really.
Okay. You say lowest common denominator as an insult. But isn't the lowest common wouldn't lowest common denominator imply that that's like the one thing everyone has in common or something like that? I don't know, it's been a while since math.
Realizes too late that he loves girl, chases her down, she accepts anyway. Ashley, look, I know that it's been a long road to get to this moment, but I love you, and I know that it only makes sense for you not to waste your plane ticket to go to your 3-month internship to London because it sounds like the best opportunity of your life, but I'm asking you to stay here and kiss me.
Okay.
Yes! Bad guy.
I mean, you know, in a perfect world, but that's not gonna happen.
Guys have bad aim. Call it the stormtrooper effect? Bad guys cannot aim. No.
That's true, though. Not necessarily. But, like, it's kind of true, though. Like, look at Vietnam. Or, like, look at, the majority of, criminals shooting out with cops or armed civilians. Like, a lot of the time, the bad guys have pretty rubbish aim. Or are just not tactically viable in combat.
Concept of being poor. Like, anytime there's a movie with a character that's a starving artist, their apartment is always, like, ridiculously huge. I mean, if that's the definition of poor, sign me up. Movie trailers.
That's because they don't want you to think that starving artists are a real thing. They want you to waste your life trying to get into some field like art or entertainment where, unless you're really lucky, it's not viable for the average person, so that they can validate their own decision to pursue that lifestyle and getting lucky with it.
I'm sure it's happened to you before when you're at the movies and then a trailer starts playing that is so stupid that your brain starts to flow out of your ears. And then the person in the next row up says,
"Oh, I want to see that."
What? Did we not just watch the same thing? Well, there goes the human race. Look, I've talked about movie trailers before, but I just have to talk about these 3 things real quick. Explosions. Count every...
Alright. I was saying explosions, because, like, if you've ever seen an actual explosion, they look nothing like they do in movies. Part of that is because movies, like, slow them down way much to make them look more dramatic or whatever. Like, in a real life, an explosion is just like, boom, and it's done. Like, there's a reason it's an explosion. That's what the word explosion means. More or less.
Every explosion that is in a trailer subtracted from 0, and that's what the movie thinks that your IQ is. Over-dramatic narration. Now, in a world to protect his family. Thank you, Mr. Narrator, for guiding me through this extremely complicated trailer. I just really cannot wait until I find out if he gets his family back or not. 1.
Yeah, no, those, the movie trailer narrations they crack me up.
2nd, sex scenes. Pretty much every trailer ever contains a 1-second clip of a sex scene from the movie to ensure that you know that this movie is going to have sex. Yay! If I've learned one thing from our...
If by every trailer for every movie ever, you mean most trailers for the movies that applies to, then sure. I guess. I don't know that I've ever seen such a trailer, because I wouldn't ever put myself in the position to see such a trailer.
Enlightened friends in Hollywood, I've learned that women are only good for 2 things in movie trailers: taking their clothes off and having sex with men. Keep pushing us forward, Hollywood. Equality is within our reach. Dorky.
Okay, I mean, or they're used to push feminist propaganda and encourage everybody to never get married and be miserable, and also have mindless sex all the time, and virginity is bad, and also girl bosses, and also I don't know. You see, the point is, those seems like two opposite ends of the spectrum, but they're really on the same side because they both just want you to forego virtue and pursue your base desires and go to hell because they work for the devil.
Guy always gets the girl. The movies always act like the dorky best friend is the underdog. But how does that make sense when it's always the dumb jock that gets dumped in the third act? I think the true underdog story would be if the stupid jock kept the girl in the end, against all odds. Who?
I mean, in real life, the dorky guy doesn't get the girl. So it is an actual underdog story. I guess the also the point he's kind of making here is that it's not an underdog story because all your stories are underdog stories. That doesn't make them not underdog stories.
Would see that coming. Look, I know we treat you with respect and you guys have a lot in common, and it really doesn't make much sense that you and I were together in the first place, but I had you first and I think that should count for something. Now, I'm just asking you to have as little respect for yourself as possible and stay with me. Now, what do you say?
I can do that.
Oh, you know it's makeout time. Let's go.
Isn't that kind of like what the after movies are like? The whatever happy ever after and ever after happy and happy after ever, or whatever all those stupid movies are called. And I'm probably, that may or may not be the franchise I'm thinking of, and I've never seen any of them. I've just heard like reactions to them. But like, isn't that basically how those movies go?
Hear the virgins.
Hi, I am an awkward teenager. I also suffer from a condition called virginity, which means that it must be the purpose of this film to ensure that I am no longer that way. So I am going to have sex and make it look easy and natural and not awkward so that you at home have unrealistic expectations when you get cured too.
All parents.
People have a serious problem.
Parents are idiots.
Hey, Dad, can I take the car to go see a movie with my friends?
Well, don't you have a big test tomorrow that you should be studying for?
I guess.
So that's probably not the best idea, honey buns.
Could I take the car to the library to study?
Oh, you are so responsible, of course you can.
Am I $20 responsible?
Sure you are, but wait, why do you need $20 to study at the library?
No reason.
Kids these days! 100.
I mean, did he cast Big Head Kid for that role?
$100-foot fall? No problem. Because he landed on a car, which softened the blow? How is that possible?
Look, it is possible. It probably wouldn't soften the blow enough to let you survive 90% of the time. But if you crush the car roof in, that's give. Which means that's a longer time that it takes. It's a longer deceleration time. Your deceleration from the velocity you hit the roof of the car at to your velocity when you finish caving the roof in is more than if the roof had no give at all. Again, Also, like, people have legitimately survived much greater falls than that. There's a handful of people that have survived, not necessarily terminal velocity, but like falling out of an airplane, or like their parachutes failing to deploy. Like, those are out there. Again, did they get up and keep fighting after that? No. But yeah. So that's how that makes sense.
'Cause I'm Batman.
The end. Okay, you can take off your 3D glasses now. What, you say that they didn't do anything? They did. They made things in the movie pop out at you. They added depth, because the script and the story aren't capable of that anymore. Now that'll be an extra $5. Marching on their way to the final battle, but the battle went on for like 10 hours long, and how am I supposed to remember what their face looks like? Well,
Alright, I don't know. I've never been to a 3D movie, so I don't know if those are, if those 3D glasses make any difference. But yeah, people definitely do, put in extra, like, they'll make the movie 3D or UHD or what have you, when they can't sell the movie on its own terms. Anyways, though, that's all I had to say in regard to that video. So I'm going to go down to the comment section now and read some of what everyone else has to say. Alright, so I've gone ahead and picked out a few comments. So let's just go ahead and read them real quick now. At Jackson Turner 242 says, "This should be played in theaters either before or after the film in question. Yeah, or shown to film producers." At Cupcake215 says, "I'm an awkward teenager, and I suffer from a condition known as virginity. I really needed the laugh tonight." I think my favorite thing that movies do is they try to try everything they do to hide the cameras. Seriously, we all know there's cameras. It's a freaking movie. I'm not saying to show all the cameras all the time, but it's really not necessary to call it a blooper goof if they're seen every once in a while. I disagree. That breaks the fourth wall, ruins your suspension of disbelief. And also, in a lot of movies that just don't work in the world you're building. Terrible for world building, by the way. And it's like at that point, why would they put any effort into any of the props they're using? Like, we all know they're just props. Why would they try to do CGI to make it look like a injury was actual? We know that it didn't actually injure that actor. I don't know. You can just take that logic too far, if you can call it logic. Also, they keep making sequels and people keep dishing out their hard-earned money to see it. Transformers, anyone? Yeah. I think there's place for sequels. Remakes are a different story. I think most series should probably end at a trilogy, or at least wherever the end of the creator's original works ended. And at Ping Pong 1138 says, "Jordan would be great at CinemaSins." Yeah, he would do, though. And then at Plot Coalition says, "Everything he said is completely true. I'm a filmmaker, and I'm actually in the process of pre-production. And I wrote the script so it didn't seem so cliche. The bad guys actually kill the main character. Very simply, they shoot him in battle. And there is no actual bad guys. The main character is the good guy and the bad guy himself, so that makes sense. This is now one of my favorite Messy Mondays. Excuse me, what? There's no actual bad guys? You just said the bad guys actually kill the main character. And then you say he is the good guy and the bad guy. So what, does he kill himself in the middle of battle? And also, if you write the script for the express purpose of not being cliche, I mean, great. I'm assuming that's not what you did. I'm assuming you wrote the script and then you kind of went through and made sure that it wasn't too cliche. But you should write the script to write the script. You should try to tell an actual decent story, with less focus on trying to not seem cliche. That's kind of hampering to your creative abilities. Anyways, I'm not gonna rip this guy too much for this comment. Anyways, though, that's all I picked out for today. So with that all being said, I want to thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you can go watch the original and subscribe to Blimey Cow. There will be links to both of those in the description below. But that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you later. Bye.